getting fired is bad, but getting fired over a TikTok? That's a whole different level. Today, we're watching people who risk their paycheck for a few views.
Oh my
and trust
God.
me, some of these decisions are unbelievable. Y'all like that, right? So stick around because one person in this video loses their whole career over one post. Do y'all still think they're gainfully employed? Chick-fil-A, not at the Lord's house. I said put the chicken in the bag. I said you gotta say my pleasure. You said my pleasure. You put the fries in the bag. You ain't say my pleasure. You fired. I said you fired. I said you fired. Yes. Amen. Okay. Amen. This next TikToker, his co-workers was hating on him. I mean hating on him. So guess what they did to him? You wouldn't guess. Fired his ass. Watch this.
So why the fuck I just drove 40 minutes from my best friend's house just to get to work early because I was in a good mood, just to notice that I got fired on my day off. They're talking about some you gotta sign this right up. Bitch, I ain't signing a shithole. That's coming with me. They ain't gonna try and hassle me talking about some, you can't take that, bitch. I promise you it's coming with me today. Talking about some violation, company policy, posted videos about the company, talking about my TikTok. Them hoes ain't mad because I'm posting nothing about McDonald's. Y'all hoes mad because I don't want y'all hoes on my live shouting y'all selves out. And Anopa, you big bitch, look like a fucking wet devout TikTok, bitch. Talking about some, oh, you making money, you don't gotta work here. Bitch, I ain't making no money off TikTok, ho. That's what you assume because of my following. Ho, you mad as fucking Elijah, bitch. You better be lucky I ain't...
Elijah? What you do, Elijah? You better be lucky. He on your ass, boy.
Well, after 7 years of working at Target, bitch, I just got fired. So if y'all want to know any kind of tea about Target, let me know. I will spill all the tea on their petty asses because they just let me go because some of my TikToks that I posted, and I'm about to spill all the tea.
Alright, let's see. This next clip gonna decide everything. We're gonna see if your company made the right call or if you was wrong for the terminating.
Alrighty, so a lot of you guys are wondering why I was fired from Target, and I'm gonna explain.
I ain't gonna lie. Me looking at this clip long as hell. He probably guilty. I'm sorry. I had to let y'all know. Alright, let's get into it.
So back in February, I posted a TikTok. I'll insert a little clip of it. Bitches really be like, oh my God, I love Target Drive Up. Like, bitch, it's just because your lazy ass doesn't want to come into the store and do your own goddamn shopping. Talking about people that do Drive Up at Target. And I'll be honest, when I posted that video, I was just having a bad day. It was not a good day for me. I was, it was just a bad day at work that day. And I just decided to film a little rant about people that do drive up. Because some people, when they do drive ups, they used to always piss me off. And they used to be like, oh my God, like all this and this and that. And I'm just like, you're literally so annoying. Like you could bring your ass into the store. Nonetheless, made that video. About a month goes by. I get talked to in March. I get told like, hey, Joseph, you need to go talk to human resources. So I go talk to them and they're like, so we saw that you posted a TikTok saying where you were talking about Drive Up and all this and that, but you didn't mention like guest names or any employees or anything like that, but you were wearing your Target t-shirt and you were, saying a lot of profanity and stuff like that. And I was just like, bitch, get to the fucking point. Like, literally quit wasting my time. So she says that Target got a lot of complaints and calls to their, customer service hotline or whatever the hell. I was like, I've literally never even heard of that in my entire life. And basically, long story short, she basically said, this is gonna turn into a final, and I got written up, and they were like, so, if this happens again, if you post any other TikToks about Drive Up or Target, and they get brought to our attention, we can go into action and terminate you. And I was just like, okay, whatever. I didn't say that. I was just like, okay, just like nonchalant. I was just like, I really don't care. And basically they were like they said all that, and I was just like, okay. And they told me like, I'm not telling you to take the video down, but I'm highly suggesting that you take the video down. And I was just like, in my head I was just like, bitch, I'm not taking shit down. That video is at 60,000 views. I'm not taking shit down. But in reality I was just like, okay. And then I walked out of that office and I was busting out laughing, y'all. I was literally dying of laughter. I couldn't keep it together. I was literally laughing so much. And fast forward to earlier this month, I posted another TikTok about Drive Up, but this one was just making fun of people that do one item orders, and it was just like the most ridiculous things, like a lighter, a pack of sunflower seeds, a frosting, a freaking wrapping paper. Like, people order the most ridiculous stuff. And anyways, so I made a TikTok making fun of people that order one thing at Drive Up, and you know, I go on vacation last week and I come back on Tuesday, and then Wednesday comes, the day it happens, and like management and all of them were really like quiet towards me. Nobody was really saying hi or anything to me, and I was just like, this is really weird. I was just like, whatever, I really don't care, because all the management always piss me off anyway. So I was just like, whatever, y'all are leaving me alone, I really don't care. And like almost the whole day goes by, and it's about 1 o'clock, 1:15, and I get told by my manager, I was like, she was like, hey Joseph, so-and-so needs to talk to you in the back. And I was like, okay, whatever. So, and it was like our boss, so I just thought like maybe he was gonna tell me something that I needed to know or whatever. And I go to him and he's like, hey, so you need to go talk to human resources upstairs. And I was just like, okay. I go in that elevator, y'all, and I'm immediately laughing already, because I already know, I'm like, oh bitch, I'm getting fired. It's over. It's finally happening. I'm getting fired. And I go to her office, I walk in, I'm like, hi, and I sit down, and she like closes the door, trying to be all like prep and professional and all that stuff. And I'm just like, whatever. She sits down and she's like, so you posted another TikTok? And I was like, mm-hmm. And she was like, so, and this one, you were showing like people's orders and stuff like that, and all this like stuff about how like the barcodes and whatever, like, oh, people can get their personal information from this and this and that. And I was just like, okay, yeah. And she was like, so this is gonna end in a termination. And I was like, okay. And she said, do you have any questions for me? Is there a reason that you posted that video? And I was just like, no. Oh my God. Literally, I was just like, no reason, no questions. And she's like, well, I'm really sorry to see you go. And I was just like, bitch, you're not fucking sorry. You are not sorry at all. Yeah. For the fact that y'all are firing me for a couple of videos, like, what does that really say about Target? Because if y'all are gonna fire me over 2 little videos, it's actually crazy. Like, y'all have so much bigger things to worry about. Like, my store in particular that I worked at, people would steal all the time, and they would do literally nothing about it. And it's just like, y'all are dumb as fuck. But anyways, back to the story. So I get told that like I'm getting terminated, fired, whatever kind of fancy ass word they want to use to call it. And I was like, okay. She gave me my check, and she's like, oh, we can go downstairs and print out these papers for you. And I was like, okay. And go downstairs, get my papers, and my boss is right there, and he's like, I'm sorry to see you go. And shook my hand, gave me a hug, and I was just like, okay. Walked out of that store laughing. And I obviously posted that video that a lot of you saw on Wednesday, where I was dying laughing about being fired from Target after almost 7 years, y'all. Like, that's how they want to treat an employee of 7 years, just because I made a couple of dumb videos. Like, y'all are so stupid. Oh my God, and I totally forgot to mention this, but when I got told that I was getting terminated or fired or whatever, HR had the audacity to say to me, like, if we were walking out of her office, and she was like after we had that conversation or whatever, she's like, so I heard you on vacation. How was Disneyland? Bitch, what the fuck? What do you mean, how was Disneyland? How was vacation when you're firing me? You don't give a fuck about me. Why are you acting like you care all of a sudden? Like, oh, like, here's your papers, here's your check, you're getting fired. But how was vacation? How was that? Like, bitch, shut the fuck up. You are so stupid. Like, I could slap you across the face if I wanted to. Like, that, literally, that was, like, so fucking dumb. I'm just like, are you for real? But to be quite honest, I am so happy to be out of there. And it's just like, I'm on to bigger and better things, because fuck that place. Like, I'm over it. I'm over them. I'm over the management, the coworkers. The work environment is so hostile. They're all so, it's such a kiss-ass environment. If you're not kissing ass, I'll make a whole video leading into that, because that's a whole video on its own. That's pretty much everything I have to say for why I got fired and what happened and all that. And if y'all have any questions, or y'all want to know anything about Target that y'all want me to spill some tea on, definitely let me know, because I am so down to like spill all kinds of tea and stuff about Target and their shitty management, kiss-ass environment, you know, all that garbage of how they work. Y'all definitely let me know, and stay tuned for any other content coming soon. But hope y'all enjoyed it, and I'll see you all next time. Bye, you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, they was right. They was right. Ain't nothing. If you think that was bad, these next people got fired from jobs that's paying $100K. What the f wrong with y'all?
Here's how TikTok got me fired. So if you've been watching me for a while, you may notice that some of my content has changed up a little bit. I know there was a lot of content where I was in my garage on the phone talking to homeowners. If you just scroll down after this video, you'll be able to see it. And I no longer do that content anymore because I got fired. And the reason that I got fired, in my opinion, is simply because of my presence on TikTok and the extra things that I do in my life that started to get noticed on TikTok. Now, full disclaimer, I still love everybody at that company. A lot of those people are my friends and I've known for years. So no harm, no foul, no hate their way at all. And the reason that I was given for being let go is because the company is going through some financial struggles right now, struggling to stay profitable. They've been having to make a lot of tough decisions. Prior to myself getting fired, I was asked to hire a really large staff, spend a lot of time training this staff, and then about a month after that was asked to let the entire staff go. Mostly due to the fact that we couldn't afford to pay them anymore. I think that's what happened when it came to me. I was making over 100 grand a year. Over, I'd say the last year, I noticed my bonuses going down. So I could tell something was going on by the way that we were letting people go and just the conversations that were being had. And it started feeling really uncomfortable. When I started to notice these things, I started to put some plays together. Set myself up with Amazon seller's account. I started investing very heavily into some cryptocurrencies, and I started doing Uber Eats. I just wasn't making what I used to make when I started working at that company. But I say the minute that it went good is the minute it went bad. See, the thing about getting more traction on TikTok is everybody sees your videos, right? And when you're working for a company making over 100 grand a year and individuals from that company start seeing these videos, questions start popping up. How is he having time to do this? When is he doing this? Is this taking away from the focus he has while he's at our company? Which, I mean, quite frankly, it's none of their business. I was putting 110% effort working for this company. I was working 6 days a week, pretty much getting paid for 40 of those hours. Like I said, no harm, no foul, things happen, and I'm no longer working for that company. Crazy because it's a blessing. Since I have stopped working for that company, I'm making more money than I've ever made. Getting fired from that job is probably the biggest blessing that I've had this year. Which might sound crazy, but it is. I just wanted to make this video to kind of let you guys know what's going on. There'll be some more videos kind of explaining in more detail what my next steps are and how I'm keeping my head above water. But again, getting fired was probably the best thing that could have happened to me this year.
So, I got fired. Yeah, my big 6-figure remote tech job. Yeah, they canned me. And you guessed it, it was because of a TikTok. Yeah, last month I took a very quick video. I had forgotten to put my mug underneath my Keurig one morning, and so my coffee spilled all over the place. And I took a quick little snippet of the coffee everywhere. I turned it around my face. I said, fuck. I hit stop recording and I uploaded, and I did not use my big giant brain to think about the fact that in the background of that video, you could hear my chief product officer talking, because I was in a meeting. Yep, it was about 4:30 in the morning. I was in my weekly team stand-up meeting. They were having a conversation that had absolutely nothing to do with me, so I went off camera, took the 20-second video, and hit upload, and I did not think anything of it until the next day when I got called into a meeting with HR and my chief product officer, and they said, hey, somebody sent us this video, and we are immediately dismissing you from the company for gross negligence. And I said, it was great working with all of you, and I hung up the call, and I said, holy shit. This is going to be perfect for my memoir. Yeah. Honestly, do I think that I should have been fired? I mean, nobody ever thinks that they should be fired, but honestly, no. They weren't really talking about anything super confidential. You could honestly barely hear them in the background, but alas, they found it to be a fireable offense, and so they canned me, and I have nothing left to do except for accept it. I mean, shit. I fucked up. It was an oversight. I would 100% accept that. They canned me. I can't do anything about it. So, of course, I thought, well, what would any college dropout who got fired from their job do next? I'm going to start my own company. I've always wanted to start my own company. This is not like an idea that popped out of nowhere. And I was always like, oh no, it's not the right time, and I have such a great job, and blah, blah, blah. I literally said the night before, somebody was like, you should go full time and like launch this company. And I was like, no, like I have a sweet gig. 12 hours later, canned. I was like, fuck. If that isn't a sign from the universe, I don't know what is. So the next day I was pissed off. I got on TikTok and I was like, I'm going to start a company. I'm going to change the world. This is what I'm doing. And I'll tell you guys when I'm ready to soft launch, and I'll tell you why I'm doing this. And so you guessed it. Today I am soft launching bridal. I am finally combining my two loves, technology and horses. And I am going to build the first ever and #1 tool for equine professionals to manage their businesses. Finally, a place where all equine professionals can put every single facet of their business. Yeah, and I'm soft launching it today. And I'm going to fundraise in Silicon Valley. And I am going to document all of it here on TikTok. Everything. The good, the bad, the shitty, the ugly, you name it. I got fired. I dropped out of college, and now I'm going to start my own company. Tell me that doesn't sound like a really great fucking idea. I'm going to do it. So yeah. And if you want to hear more about this company and you want to join our first cohort of users, part 2 is already up. And oh, sorry, one last thing. To the person who sent the TikTok video to my company, karma's a bitch. Anyway, bye losers.
Goodness gracious! And when they get fired, they come back to the place that got them fired in the first place. Talking about they gotta build up the courage. No, you need to build up your resume. Yeah, you're talking about what?
Quick little story time. I'm now getting the courage to actually talk about this situation. So back in September of 2025, I ended up losing my job. So I worked at my job for 7 years. I was fully vested. So let's jump right into it. So I had just came off a vacation and I went back to work. And the first day back, my manager calls me into the office. She tells me that HR needs to see you. They want you to leave, they want you to clock out, and they want you to come back the next day to have a meeting with them. So I'm like super confused because like I said, I'm now coming back from vacation, so I had no idea like what was going on. So I asked my manager, like, what's going on? She told me that I was basically under an investigation. So I was like, an investigation for what? And she said she couldn't tell me. So I come back to work on the Thursday, like I'm in my full uniform and everything, because I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to meet with HR, then I'm going to go back to the floor to work. So I go meet with HR and they're asking me about my TikTok. So I'm like, my TikTok? HR then proceeds to tell me that somebody reported my TikTok and said that I was posting content while I was at work. I said I had a couple of videos on my page where I was posting a lot at work. They also mentioned that my badge was present in the video. And come to find out, somebody from my unit where I was working reported my TikTok to HR. And when I tell you I was so devastated when I lost my job, like from September to January, I was like full on depressed. Like I really felt like I didn't have anywhere to turn. And I was just in a really dark place. And although I was in a dark place at that moment, I really learned a lot from that situation. I learned and I grew a lot from that situation. And I also realized how strong of a person I was too around that time. And I just prayed a lot. I just kept praying, like asking God for understanding, because I really didn't understand the situation at the time. And I just was like, why me? Why me out of all people? Would somebody do something like that to me, And I would just talk to God every day. And when I tell you, from September to February, I always had money. Like, I had money for my rent. I had money to go places. Like, I always had money. And God really showed up, y'all. He really showed up and showed out. Because when I tell you, I wasn't hungry, I had everything that I needed. Thank God. But a lot of times things happen to you and you just don't understand it. But you have to really take that time to really pray and really ask God, like, what was that about? Like, what are you trying to tell me? What are you trying to show me? And believe me, He's gonna show you. He's gonna tell you everything that you need to know. And I honestly just wanted to share that because I feel like people don't realize like how real God is, like how God shows up in ways that you would least expect it. And all it takes is just believing that, you know, He's there for you. He's never gonna leave you. He's gonna always be there. And even though it was scary, I stuck it out. And on February 10th, I got a new job. I got a new job, guys. So, you know, it was rough, but I made it through. And I made it through because God was there with me. He stuck it out with me. So don't give up. Just keep praying.
I don't know what she laid on the floor. Was that a pillow? I don't know. She was so devastated she had to lay that on the ground. God, dog. But hey, man, if y'all know anybody who, hold on, anybody who got fired from a job, let me know in the comments down below. I see you next time. I gotta go.